Hello and welcome to this very first edition of Motherland News. Every Monday to Friday at this particular hour, we bring in news from around the African continent and we try to get those very burning topics from the different countries that make up the motherland, that's the African continent. And today we are beginning in Cameroon. And in Cameroon, we hear prominent human rights lawyer Richard Tamfo has been tortured by gendarmes in that Central West African country. According to reports on November 27, gendarmes in Cameroon arrested and seized lawyer Richard Tamfo in the country's largest city, Douala. The vicious assault fits a pattern of official attacks on lawyers, presumably designed to deter them from doing their job. We remember that the Anglophone crisis in Cameroon did take a negative turn when lawyers, that's common law lawyers and teachers, were protesting, demanding for better treatment as far as their work conditions are concerned. Things went sour when uniformed men did attack and tortured some of the lawyers. And so when a thing like this comes up, we know exactly what happens next. Still in the country, Cameroon, we are talking about a bad rice that has infected the markets in Cameroon. We know that a bag of rice that is about 50 kilograms some months back was sold at say 25,000, but today to purchase a bag of rice in Cameroon you should cough out about 50,000 francs CFA, or in between 45 and 50,000 francs CFA. That is close to 100 US dollar just to buy a bag of rice. And so what is happening in that country is that everybody is trying to see how they can bring in rice into the country and send it to the local markets so people can consume. And that is pushing so many people to bring in rice of very low quality. We're going to take our transition tune and move to the next African country, Ghana. All right. Without our transition tune, we move straight to, okay, that's our transition tune. And now on to Ghana, where President Akufo-Addo has called on Ghanaians to go out and cast their ballots for their...
Hello, Ashefo.
Sorry for that technical hitch. We're going to come back after this. We want to apologize for that technical stuff. We're going to go straight to Ghana to tell you about President Akufo-Addo, who has called on Ghanaians to go out and cast their ballots for their preferred candidate, upholding peace and, of course, dignity. President Addo, in a nation televised message, addressing the nation in a televised message shared on his Facebook page on Friday, December 6, 2024, that is today, a day before the general elections that comes up tomorrow. The president said this will maintain the country's reputation as a beacon of democracy in Africa. You should understand that as it stands now, Ghana is considered the nation that maintains democracy as far as the African continent is concerned. If we go back to what happened when President Barack Obama took over management of the affairs of the United States in 2008, remember, he took the entire world off guard, being the first African American president of the most powerful nation on earth, that is the US. President Barack Obama did visit the African continent. Of course, we know that his father is from that particular continent, but he did not go to Kenya, where his father hails from, but he went straight to Ghana, and it was in Ghana that he addressed all African leaders who had converged on that country to welcome their son. And he told them that he has chosen Ghana because Ghana is a country that respects democracy. And so President Akufo-Addo has called on Ghanaians to do everything to make sure that they go out and cast their ballots for their preferred candidate, upholding peace and dignity. And so, addressing the nation in a televised message shared on his Facebook page on Friday, December 6th, that's today, the president called on Ghanaians to consider the nation and not the people. Consider the nation, not the candidates, by voting for the person they think can bring change and the needed economic and political stability in the country. Also, still in Ghana, we have Kwesi Pratt Jr., who has frowned at the temporary closure of Ghana's land borders. Remember, ahead of elections in Ghana, the Interior Ministry decided to close borders, and that's land borders as far as the nation Ghana is concerned. So people cannot easily move in and out of Ghana during the election period by land. And of course, that has pulled criticism from Kwesi Pratt Jr., who thinks it is uncalled for at this time to completely close the borders, considering that there are economic activities that are being carried through this different way into Ghana, the different ways into Ghana. And we are looking at what Ghanaians are thinking about the upcoming presidential election in Ghana. What do Ghanaians think as they decide to vote for their different leaders who will manage the affairs of their different territories? Of course, we are also going to hear from an accountant turned mechanic who thinks that it is time for those who manage the affairs of the country to put the people first, make sure that Ghanaians can benefit from what the land produces, and also try as much as they can to make sure that economically the country returns to the glory that was known in the past. We'll now move on to Liberia. Senator Edwin Sonowe of Bomi County has accused the United States government of fueling disunity and hate among Liberians. Of course, this is an allegation that other political parties do not think it is called for, considering the fact that Liberia benefits a lot from the government of the United States of America. Also, there has been protests in the Methodist Church in Liberia following pastors accepting marriages between gays and lesbians in the Methodist Church in Liberia. And so Christians have carried placards and stand in front of churches in Liberia to say no to such marriages in the house of God. The question is, can the African continent welcome same-sex marriage wholeheartedly? Still in Liberia, the government of that country has signed a US $5.3 million grant with the International Fund for Agricultural Development, that is the IFAD, in order to boost production of agricultural products in that part of the world. It is a move that has been welcomed by so many Liberians, though they are calling on the president to make sure that the project is supervised and execution is proper. On to Somalia. The government of Somalia has imposed a ban on Nairobi Kismayo flights, inviting criticism from many quarters. And also, China is still to get news of the whereabouts of 18 crew members of a hijacked Chinese fishing vessel in that part of the African continent. That is what we were able to put together for you this evening on News from the Motherland. It was a test edition. We promise to bring you more juicy news from the continent in the days ahead, a full package touching almost all the countries that make up the African continent. But as usual, we will do something very special by getting your views on the different news items that we bring. So in subsequent editions, when we come with a full news package, we are going to open the line for you to tell us exactly what you think about the different news items we bring. You can comment, you can analyze, and if you have something hot, breaking news, you can contribute by reporting live on this program. This was just an iceberg of what we intend to do in the days ahead as we prepare for new programs on your network. Stay with us.
Ashefo sawope baby anase obia odi kente anase sika koko ebesiesie wo ho ama wo ho aye fana anye wo bretu echa efise at kente and fashion e wo ho ma wo ye wo nioma bi ti se kente lace ahemfo kente fatia fatankroma ahenuma mpaboa awenia ane sika koko senia echegu wo background no so no aye de besiesie wo ama wase ohene